This episode is sponsored by the winningest shell in the history of sporting clays and FETASC history, Game Bore Shot Shells. No other brand has won more world championships. White Gold and Dark Storm contain precision-made diamond shot that is graded 5 times for consistency and has high-performance smooth velocities, providing less felt recoil. You put in the work. Now load up with the best. Why trust anything else? Available throughout the U.S., exclusively from KL Ammo. Find them online at www.GameBoreUS.com. Game Bore are simply the champion's choice.
Hey, clay shooters, it's that time again.
These guys aren't just anybody. They're good.
It's time for the Dead Pair Podcast with Jason Rambo.
Does your brain hear what your mouth is saying?
And Sean Alley.
He's large and in charge.
Here to bring you all things sporting clays, from the ins and outs, tips and tricks, news and gossip from pro shooters, service and industry specialists, coaches, clubs, and more.
Often imitated, never duplicated.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only...
Welcome, everyone, to the Dead Pair Podcast.
Wow, Sean Alley, 1 year.
It's hard to...
Can you believe?
It's hard to even comprehend.
I cannot believe it's been a year already we started this.
And we still don't know what we're doing.
I still have no clue. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Sorry for the little break there. We took off for Thanksgiving. Hope you all can understand. We've got families, too, and we didn't think anybody would really want to listen to us while they're eating their turkey anyway.
No, not really. And there's better things to do. There's all kinds of stuff to do on Thanksgiving. Black Friday, football, you name it. Everybody's got their traditions at their house.
So speaking of traditions and 1 year anniversary, the Pilgrim shoot at night at the Cardinal Center.
Yeah, big
How
turnout.
fun.
Big
Oh,
turnout.
my goodness. And we got to watch a clown show all the way around the course,
Yeah.
a.k.a. David Radulovich.
He was having fun, though, to be honest. I mean, no pressure, but there was always a smile on his face the whole time. So.
And hey, if you guys haven't seen the video yet, we've got a video up on YouTube. We basically filmed David almost, I think we only missed a couple stations of the prelim and him goofing off, but I can tell you right now, that was absolutely nothing compared to the way he goofed off at the Saturday night shoot.
Right.
I mean, he was shooting stuff from overhead, from the hip. I mean, Sean and I, when we signed up with David, we're all excited. We're thinking, we're going to get a little lesson out of this, No, I didn't learn anything. Did you, Sean?
No, just that David can shoot better goofing off than I can trying.
Oh, my gosh.
So he's definitely a natural talent and a really fun guy to be with, too.
It was fun.
It was.
Food was amazing.
Yeah, right. I mean, I don't know of any other place that I've been to except maybe, Quail Creek when I was down at the Gator Cup. But, I mean, Friday night they had that wood-fired pizza oven come in on a trailer. Those guys are whipping out fresh, hot pizzas and pasta out of that thing on Friday night. And then Thursday we had those box lunches. And Saturday we had those box lunches. Man, those were fantastic. Homemade bread. I mean, for a box lunch, it was way and above better than anything I've ever had. And then, of course, they had City Barbecue come in for Saturday night, and you had brisket and smoked turkey and all the fixings. And they do it right over there. Jake and Luke know how to feed you.
Well, you didn't tough it out for Sunday for the Super Sporting.
Nope, I had something else going on with the family, and I'm kind of glad I missed, honestly.
Yeah, in the near blizzard-like conditions.
Yep.
But no, they had another box lunch in there again for Sunday. So they fed us well. Light plants. I keep hearing mixed numbers. I don't know. It was either like 68 light plants or something like that, or 67 light plants.
It was a bunch.
I heard 80 at one time, so I don't know. They had a few of them break down, but they had the place very well lit. The parking area was well lit. The shooting area was beyond well lit.
Yeah, there was never a time when you couldn't see a target.
Right. It was just the background.
It was just the background trying to gauge the distance and the whole depth perception problem.
Yeah, so, hey, I chalk my barrels.
Yep.
Under the advice of Mr. Chad Roberts, thank you, Chad, I think it helped. I'm not a guy that's real super barrel aware, or maybe, I don't know. Maybe a good coach could look over my shoulder and tell me I'm full of it, but I chalked my barrels, and I really think it helped. I think I benefited from it.
Yeah, I tend to shoot a little flatter on my rib, so it was there, but it wasn't like super noticeable.
Yeah.
I think people that have more of a ramp as they're looking out, probably a lot more noticeable. I didn't really pay attention with it too much either, so.
Yeah. Well, you got an extension ladder bolted to the top of your gun, so.
Well, doesn't everybody?
But anyway, man, what a fun shoot. And they've got some big things planned for next year.
Yeah.
I hope everybody's already checking it off on their calendar. It's usually the second week in November. It's always the weekend after the time change here in Ohio.
Well, and it was funny because we talked to several people who came from out of state. Don Paget and Christian Crawford, they all came up from the South. And yeah, sorry guys, it's not as nice up here as it is down there usually in November. But they both said they're not going to miss it again. They're going to come year after year because it's such a fun time. They said, we've never been to a shoot where it's just totally fun just to be there the whole time.
Yeah, and well, we got an interview here with a guy from Canada.
That's right.
So, people are coming. This is turning into one of those.
He was from Toronto, right?
Yeah, Toronto.
Yeah.
But this shoot's turning into one of those elite signature shoots.
Yep.
And, even when I'm down in Florida laughing at you in the cold and I'm sitting on the beach, I'm still coming back for the shoot.
Heck yeah, you better.
That's all there is to it. This and the Ohio State Championship, it's just, to me, it's worth it. Anyway, enough of that. We're going to get on to some interviews here right after a quick commercial break. And then we've got some big announcements to make. So we'll see you right back here in a few minutes. American-made Atlas traps are made right here in Kansas and feature the finest quality, innovation, and support in the business. Atlas traps are made using aircraft-quality aluminum and stainless steel to ensure your traps will outlast the competition.
So whether you're an individual needing a private trap for practice and recreation, or a club needing to outfit your entire facility, family-owned and operated Atlas Traps can suit all your needs.
Visit atlastraps.com to see the full line of commercial and recreational traps and accessories. With prices that won't make you see red and quality that won't leave you feeling blue, Atlas has the finest equipment available. Okay, we have caught up here with Paulo. Paulo, how you doing?
Not too bad. Thank you for having me here.
Can you please tell everybody your full name and where you're from?
My name is Paul Periti. We're from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We've come down to shoot this tournament, one of the funnest shoots I've ever been to. Shooting targets in the dark just doesn't happen back home, but a little bit cold. Still great. Still a great tournament.
Well, we were blown away when we heard you came clear down here from Toronto, but you said this is actually the second time you've been down for this shoot.
We were here 2 years ago. It was a little bit colder.
Yeah.
We couldn't make it down last year. I was cringing when I saw how nice the weather was and how much fun you guys must have been having without us. But finally the borders have opened up and we're back.
Yeah.
We plan to make a few more trips next year. We'll do the close border shoots in Michigan and in Rochester. A day shoots, we'll drive down on a Sunday and head back home.
That's awesome. You were mentioning to me that you're trying to bring more of what the Americans are doing as far as sporting clays into Canada. What's some of the struggles that you guys are having?
Well, some of the presentations that we have in Canada, I've never seen them. I've never seen the American presentations back home in Canada, and they always surprise the hell out of me. So when I would go home, I would try to reset the same target, try to build the same platform. So we built some elevated platforms to shoot from. We weren't shooting targets underneath our feet at home until we started implementing it. And the target presentations, the Rabu, for example, the standard rabbit target thrown from a standard machine. Mm-hmm. We saw that over at M&M for the first time.
Right.
We ran into the 70 mil in Michigan. So we knew we needed those machines for our club in order to grow as shooters. I've learned how to shoot from attending all the tournaments in the United States, and I do everything I can to bring it back to Canada to help the sport grow in Canada. It's coming along really well. I'm helping at the Oshawa Gun Club, which is my gun club at home. I'm on the board of directors, and I've been fortunate enough to be allowed to bring certain things back there, like the shooting platform. We built a couple of bunkers. We're playing with the tower, putting different machines on the tower. We've built the Rabus. Every day when I learn something, I just try to bring all that information back.
That's awesome. So let's jump back to this shoot in particular. What's one of the reasons you love coming to this shoot?
Targets at night is
at
incredible.
Night. Right.
Under the lights. This one, you got me hooked on it 2 years ago. And yeah, this is a good one. I actually tried to convince our club. We looked into renting the generators, the lights and everything, 2 per station. It's expensive.
It's a lot of money. Yeah.
I don't know how you guys are doing it down here, but I came down this weekend with Frank, and he's blown away.
Yeah.
He's like looking at it and goes, the Americans are doing the tournaments right. We got a lunch in a box. He's like, what's this?
Right.
The dinner. And it's not cheap. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It was $105. But, you have to take into consideration these generators are costing quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. A lot of money.
It was going to be more than the average tournament. I know the preliminary was a little cheaper.
Yeah.
But we still got a lunch. And
right.
Like Frank was like, we got lunch? This
is
incredible. So we're trying to learn how to do things right. Back home, we got a little bit of problems, but we're getting through it, and we are growing really, really well.
So you shot which course did you shoot last night?
I put up a 90 on the blue.
On the blue, very nice.
Today, I'm dropping a few. I'm a little bit upset with myself, but an 86 on the prelim. And tonight, I'm going to try to focus as hard as I can to put up another score within the 90s, I hope.
That's awesome.
And we'll see what we can do.
So now, what NSCA class are you in?
I bumped up to Masters a while ago.
Oh, very nice.
So, and it was by traveling through the United States. 1 year, I dedicated quite a bit of time to, making my way to the different shoots.
Right.
Went as far as Wisconsin. Been down to South Carolina. Been to Anthony's place in M&M. It's always a drive for me.
Yeah.
It's easier for the guns and the ammunition and whatnot. Flying is a little bit more expensive, and there's close enough that I can lock those ones in. Right.
Well, like I said, we were blown away when we found out you came all the way down here from Toronto to shoot this shoot. That says a lot, and it says a lot about what Cardinal Center's put into this shoot to make it what it is. I pulled up to you out there on the prelim, and I asked you what you thought of the target, and you're like, who cares? It's the atmosphere. It's the shoot itself, and but I could tell you were having a good time, grinning ear to ear. You still are, and we still got more shooting to do. So that's awesome, and it's really cool to hear, across the border how you're trying to implement things that's going on here in the States.
Well, copying you guys, I hope it's a form of flattery. But at the same time, I'm also coming up with my own ideas.
Yeah.
Next year, I'm going to be implementing a 5-stand, a secondary 5-stand that we have. It'll be multi-level. So station 1 will be ground level. Station 2 and 3 will be 4 feet off the ground, side by side, so that if we want to use it as a make or break, they can just set up right there.
Right.
Station 4 will now be 8 feet off the ground, another set of stairs to go up. And then station 5 finally at 12 feet off the ground.
Wow.
So, I've got my own ideas as well.
Sure.
We're not just, hanging back. We're trying to bring our own twist to everything as well. And we've got some really good shooters in Canada. Most of them have come down here to play. This is not our first rodeo, I'm saying.
Right.
But quite a few of the guys that come and travel, all masterclass shooters, have all done it. Quite a few snowbirds go down to Florida, and they'll shoot down there as well. But for traveling, we've driven 14 hours to get to a shoot.
Wow. Very cool.
Next year, South Carolina at Hemingway's place. Going to be awesome. I've shot his place before at the U.S. Open. It's quite a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
But he set some awesome targets.
Yeah, Rick does. He sets really good targets. He set targets here at Cardinal in the past for the Northeast Regional in 19, and then the Ohio State shoot in 20.
Some of my friends came down for the regional. I just couldn't make it down that year.
Yeah. Nah, Rick does. He sets really good targets. Well, Paul, thank you for spending a few minutes with us. This has been awesome. This is definitely not an interview that we thought we would get tonight, so appreciate the heck out of it, and wish you luck tonight. Good luck to you, and go shoot them all.
Thanks for having me here.
All right, thanks, sir.
It's all about humanity.
It's time to react like never before. For the first time ever, RE Ranger used artificial intelligence to test and optimize 1 billion different lens variations. It's time to see the sport in a way no one else has with React AI. Available now in frame kits, lens kits, and our most popular lens shapes. For more information, please visit reranger.com.
All right, I'm here with Roseanne. Roseanne, tell everybody your full name and what class do you shoot?
My name is Rosanna Prucka, and I am in A class.
And where are you from, Roseanne?
I am from Michigan.
Oh, geez, that state up
Go
north.
Blue.
Oh, gosh. Here we go. You better be careful saying that around here. It might start a riot or something, you know? So
I know.
Roseanne, I know you and your husband travel all around shooting. What is it about the night shoot at the Cardinal Center that you guys love so much?
It is so much fun. The enjoyment of shooting under the lights, and we can't really predict what the weather's going to be each year, but
yeah.
we have attended all 5 years. So we've gone from really cold weather the first year to last year being really nice. Almost t-shirt weather. And then this year, Sunday shooting super sporting. We're basically shooting in a snow globe.
Yeah. So, you and your husband, Paul, you guys shot all 4 events, right? Both night shoots, or both red and blue tournaments at night, the dead pair prelim, and as well as the super sporting on Sunday. Am I correct?
Yes, all 4.
Of the 4, do you have a favorite?
Well, I do like shooting at night, but you guys did a tremendous job setting up the dead pair prelim. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was good targets, and it got a little tougher towards the end. I think station 15 and 16 were a little tough.
Yeah.
But it was really, really good shoot.
Well, you know, as far as 15 and 16 goes, we've told everybody they really weren't that tough when we set them. It was just that wind that just really pushed the targets way out, especially being on the north side of the road there and, you know, up on that hill. The wind just took them 15 yards out further than they were supposed to be. And that was kind of the big talk as far as the prelim targets go. Do you have something about the night shoot? Not necessarily the targets themselves. Anything. It could be the atmosphere. It could be the food. It could be. If you had to pick one thing, what's your favorite? What's your favorite part of shooting the night tournament?
I would say shooting under the lights.
Yeah.
That would be my first thing. It's so cool to see those targets light up in the woods.
Yeah.
And especially when you crush them and see them explode. But that and just the camaraderie of, you know, we've gotten to know so many people from Ohio, and we had quite a group come down from Michigan as well, and everyone just seems to have fun. You almost forget it's a registered tournament. You know, I looked over and saw you guys shooting with David on one of the stations, and saw him shooting with the gun above his head and shooting from the hip. And, you know, I mean, not your typical registered event. You know, you seem to forget. And Cardinal Center is one of our top favorite places to go to begin with. The guys and ladies there do a tremendous job. The food, they put so much attention into detail of doing something different, you know, like this year they had the wood-fired pizza and the subs with the homemade bread or sandwiches.
Yeah.
And that you just do a top-notch job.
Yeah, they make sure everybody's taken care of as far as food, and I mean, I know they had plenty of waters and soft drinks and you name it. Nobody really wanted for anything, if you will. The burn barrels at every station were the first night they were a cool ambiance, and the second night it seemed like they were a huddle spot. You know, Sunday we were wishing they were going because shooting in a blizzard. But no, it was. For us, it's something that we look forward to every year, and we've tried to convince so many people. We did convince a lot of people to come this year, and they're like, man, why didn't you tell me about this before? I'm like, really? Do you listen to the podcast? But no, they said they're never going to miss it again. So it's nice to hear your perspective. I know you frequent there a lot, and you guys make the track all the way down from that state up north. And so it's just, I'm hoping people are hearing this and are like, wow, I really want to go to that shoot next year, because I don't think they'll be disappointed. Do you?
Not at all. And it is nice watching it grow from year to year, getting bigger. There was 3 events the first, 4 years, and now that they added that 4th event on Sunday, I mean, where else, can you go and shoot 2 night shoots and a prelim and a super sporting if you remember that you're shooting a registered tournament because you're having so much fun.
Right. Well, I think there's a surprise coming for next year. There might be 5 events. So I don't want to say too much. I might get a call from the Spengler brothers.
We're in.
Yeah.
The proof is they're in.
Yeah. Well, just bring cash, because I think there's going to be some gambling on the line here. So.
Oh, well, we're good with that too.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Well, Roseanne, we've got something special planned with you and Paul in studio. I don't want to say too much. I just want to tease everybody a little bit. So we'll be catching up more. We're going to dive a little bit more into you and Paul shooting when you come sit in studio with us. But for right now, thank you very much for spending a few minutes with us and talking about the Pilgrim shoot at night at the Cardinal Center. And I know I'm going to be seeing you at a tournament here soon. So, but thank you, Roseanne, very much for spending a minute with us.
Anytime. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hey, shooters, when you're traveling, protect your gun in the finest case available. Negrini is a sponsor of the Dead Pair podcast, and right now, use the promo code DEADPAIR, that's DEADPAIR, all one word, for a 10% discount off your order. Plus, if your order totals more than $300, they're going to throw in free shipping. Remember, Negrini, we case your memories.
All right, I'm sitting down here with Cam. Cameron, tell everybody your full name and where you're from.
My name's Cameron DiBarto. I'm from Mayfield Heights, Ohio.
Awesome. So, what is that? Probably about a 2.5, 3 hour drive down to the Cardinal Center?
About 2 hours.
About 2 hours. So, what is it about the night shoot that you like so much? I know you're a big fan of it. You love shooting it. What is it that's the big attraction about the night shoot for you?
I mean, it's just a completely different scenario from shooting during the day. The temperature's different. The vision's different. Everything just kind of changes for you.
Right. What's your favorite part of the night shoot? Just the shooting itself, or is it the atmosphere? I mean, tell everybody a little bit about the shoot one of the reasons why you like it so much.
Well, everyone there seems to be real good spirits about how cold it is and how tough the targets are, and it's always a good time to see that people are really trying to shoot in different environments.
Right.
And I'm just a fan of shooting all the time, so any targets I could shoot, I'll take them.
Right. I hear you. Was there any course in particular that you liked more than the other? Well, first of all, what all courses did you shoot? Did you shoot both nights?
No, I shot the blue course and I shot the PreLim.
Okay, so you didn't shoot the red then?
No, I wasn't able to shoot the red.
Gotcha. Hey, what'd you think of those prelim targets?
I really enjoyed the prelim. I had a blast. They were very good targets, set up very well, and challenging. I'll tell you that.
Well, the wind is what we're hearing. Everybody was battling, I mean, it blew the targets out way farther than they were supposed to be. So when you got around there on the backside of the road where the wind was behind you, it was really pushing them out. It wasn't supposed to be that big,
I thought it was great. It was definitely challenging in my perspective.
So, Cameron, what class do you shoot?
I am currently a C-class shooter.
Your C-class? Okay. What did you do different in preparation for this shoot being at night? Did you do anything different to your equipment other than, dressing warmer?
Well, I made sure I had the right safety glasses on to make sure I could actually see the target instead of wearing my dark lenses, which I always do during the day.
Gotcha. Well, you didn't chalk your barrels or anything like some of the people were doing?
No.
So if somebody's on the fence about coming to this night shoot, what would you have to say to them about that?
I mean, I would say there's no reason to be on the fence about it. It's a fun time. It's always great to shoot with the people you meet out there, even if you don't know anyone. It's just a different experience that everyone enjoys.
Yeah. Well, plus being from Ohio, you never know what you're going to get in weather. I mean, shoot, last year we were, 70 degrees almost?
70 degrees wearing shorts and a T-shirt.
Right.
And a sweatshirt at night.
And then this year we're all out there in Carhartts all bundled up again. So
I was probably wearing about 5 layers.
Well, you didn't stick around. You didn't see Sunday. We shot in the snow, and it was brutally cold. And the snow was coming down so hard. I mean, it was, hitting your glasses. And Christian Seibert, the shot on our squad, he said, the dots on my glasses are bigger than the target. So it was...
I believe that.
Yeah, it was a challenge for sure. Well, Cameron, thank you for spending a few minutes with us. I really appreciate it. We'll be catching up soon. I know, I get to see you up here in Ohio a lot with all the shoots around Ohio. But this night shoot, I wanted to catch up with you for a few minutes and get somebody else's perspective. I mean, we've talked to some of the big guys, and we want to hear from, the rest of the silent masses, if you will. So
Right, yeah.
But
of course, Jason, thank you for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Anytime. Come back and talk to us anytime you want, bud.
Thank you, Jason.
All right, buddy. All right, we're here with Erich Roden from Bear Pelt and the one and only clown show, David Radulovich.
Rudy.
Erich, this is your first time shooting the night shoot at Cardinal. First impression.
What an amazing time. It is fun. Every squad is fun, both in front of us, behind us, and the one I was in, both of the ones I was in. So, just a great weekend.
Awesome. David, I know you love this shoot. You've made comment of this many times, but what is it about this shoot that sets it off from all the other shoots you go to?
So a lot of 99% of people that play this game, they do it because it's a hobby and because it's fun, right? And but I do this because it's my job, and so every shoot that I go to, there's an expectation externally and internally for me to perform really well, and this has always been a shoot for me. Every time I come, where I generally, ever since I was little, I'd pick one shoot a year to go and just enjoy and have fun with friends and not care about that kind of stuff, and so for me, this shoot is that. But on top of that, it's like the whole atmosphere of it is it's totally different. It's set up to be a fun social event. There's a lot of other night shoots around the country. This one is just my favorite because it's number one. This is the first one that was ever a dedicated night shoot. But I just like, number one, I like that it's cold. I wish that we'd get a blizzard every year. It's so much fun. I love the fact that every station's got the burn barrels because it makes people huddle up around it and it becomes a social event. Yeah. I love that the targets are so much fun. Shooting at night is an absolute freaking blast. And everybody that's here, it's just, you watch people go around the course and everyone has a huge smile on their face. And, the way that these guys do, the food that comes in is awesome. The targets are fun. You're shooting at night. There's a bonfire at every station. Squads are always enjoyable to shoot on, and it's just, this is just the most fun shoot of the. For me, I just freaking love it. I don't know if my face is sore because it's cold or because I've been laughing and smiling all day.
You've been laughing all night.
So, on a serious note, let's talk about shooting targets at night. Yeah. What kind of weight do you give that? For a person coming here to shoot at night for maybe their first time, what kind of expectations should someone set upon themselves when they come here?
So I think if it's your first time ever shooting at night, you shouldn't have any expectations. Shooting at night is a lot different, but it's essentially exactly the same in terms of the shooting. But there's a lot that is different in the research and preparation of every pair that you're shooting. A lot of us will judge distance of a bird by the amount of acuity so the level of visual detail that we can see on the target. And so a lot of people who have some level of barrel awareness, which is, basically it's 100% of people on every shot in the game, but most people are shooting a style where they have an insertion and they make a move and all that kind of stuff. And so barrel awareness is important for a lot of shooters. You'll see a lot of guys, this is not a criticism, it's just the style of shooting. You'll see a lot of people that will chalk their barrel or anything like that. And so the huge difference is that because of the way that the light works at night, right? So there's a point of origin from the lights, which is those generators. The further out the targets are and the more outside of the focus of the light, the huge majority of less detail we get on the target. And it kind of fools the brain into thinking that the birds are a lot farther than what they are, because during the day the light is coming from the sun, but it's all over the place and we get good detail on birds. So, if you know the course and you know like how far away that corn row is, and you are watching the birds and judging it based off of how much inside or outside that corn row is, it's a much different read on the distance of the birds than if you're just looking at the target and trying to guess how far away it is. Right. Generally, shooting at night makes the birds look 10 to 15 yards further. And so you see a lot of people that are doing this for the first time missing in front of everything.
Yes.
Eric, what's about your thoughts?
It's my first time shooting at night. And I've shot, trap and some of that stuff, and shot later into the afternoon, early evening, but shooting at night under the lights was a first for me, and I agree with everything David said. The targets seemed a little farther out than they really were, so you really had to look at where they landed, and essentially how far the trap was and where it landed, and you kind of get a good idea as to the line and distance. But I thought every target was great, and along with the targets, there was a lot of screwing around on the course and, practicing some stuff. How low to the ground can you take it? Can you shoot it off the arm at distance? And at night, it makes it even more fun to play around like that. And like I said, and like David said, the crowds were great here. Everybody just had a great time. And this is definitely a shoot I'll come to every year.
That's awesome.
Based on the targets and the people.
Yeah. Well, David, you shot a lot of night with the PSCA. Mm-hmm. How does this compare? Now, I know the targets are way different. Okay, that's not the question. How does this compare shooting at night here compared to what you did in the PSCA? And I asked that because we just got your perspective, and then we got Eric's perspective, who's fairly new to master's class, and he's never shot at night before. This is something that you're kind of used to. So how does this compare coming from a pro level, going from PSCA to something like this?
To me, really, there's the targets are different. In the PSCA and all the night shooting that I've done, they're set for professionals only, and so the targets are much harder in that. And then also, you're talking about a difference of lighting 2 whole 16-station sporting courses versus lighting basically 1 make-or-break field. Right. So we can spend 100th of the cost on lights in the shoots that I'm on and have 10 times better lighting. Basically you're talking about a massive expense to run a shoot like this. And but for the PSCA, because we're only shooting in 1 location, the lighting is a little bit different. And the targets are a lot harder, and then lastly, the main thing is the atmosphere. Like Eric was talking about, you go out on that course, and it's a party. Yeah. People are having so much fun, screaming and yelling when they're hitting stuff, watching the targets blow up like fireworks. In the PSCA, the 30 of us that were there were just there basically for the competition, to win some money to pay the bills, and to make a TV show. So it's a lot different.
Yeah.
And then lastly, let's talk about the cold. Let's talk about the weather. Let's talk about the wind. Obviously, we're all dressed in heavier clothing. movement's not as easy as it is. I mean, you just kind of got to work through it, right? I mean, that's all you can do.
Yeah, so for me, actually, this is kind of a cool experience. And it's kind of interesting that Erich is standing right here next to me. The shooting in the cold is not an easy thing. I mean, you have so much extra clothing that you're going to have problems with your mounting. The gun isn't going to fit the same. You know, stuff bunches up in your shoulder and you get bad mounts. The gun doesn't shoot where you're looking. This is the first time I ever got to shoot in a bear pelt vest at night. At night, but no, it's not at night. But it's the first time I ever got to shoot in it with wearing a bunch of clothes. I mean, I'm literally wearing, people can't see me right now, but I'm wearing my duck hunting outfit. You got to wear a lot of clothes. It's cold as heck. A lot of accidental trigger pulls because you can't feel your hands. But, like a real big thing that people should pay attention to when you're wearing and shooting in winter is, you got to make sure still that your mounts are consistent. And so, I mean, I was really, really happy with the way that my bear pelt performed this weekend because, that vest is so freaking thin. And the material that we use doesn't get caught on the gun. It doesn't bunch up like a bunch of leather or Alcantara in your shoulder. And I literally never once had a bad mount all week, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Erich, you got anything to add to that?
No, same. I'm wearing 3 layers of long underwear, and, you're just still cold. It's like almost the inverse of the U.S. Open this year where you're just hot no matter what you did. So you're going to be cold. If you come to shoot this time of year in Ohio or the Midwest, but it added a more of an element of fun. Like I said, there were barrels out there for everybody. Everyone's huddled around, and everybody's cold. Just like at my day job, we always tell ourselves everybody's cold when we're out there, fighting fires and that kind of stuff, and everybody just kind of takes it. And same with here, but more of a party atmosphere. So it's just kind of it's similar, a parallel vibe, if you will. So. But yeah, like David said, it's the first time I got to shoot the bear pelt in a cold weather vest, or cold weather, I should say. And
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I was wiping the tears away. As an owner of a company, I was wiping the tears away that it worked, right? So but yeah, it definitely shooting in layers, and it's the first time you're shooting in cold weather for the year, and you realize your mount's not as consistent, so you definitely got to pay more attention to that. But if you look at the bird. You're cold, you look at the bird, you're going to hit it.
Well, honestly, the 4 of us are kind of biased, right? Because, Erich, you're the owner of Bear Pelt. David, you and Sean and I have been there from the beginning with Bear Pelt. We believe in it. But for our listeners that don't know, I started off in a shooting coat.
Yeah.
And everybody...
I saw this mid-round.
Yeah, I got frustrated. And I told David, I said... My gun fit is so off with that, and I actually took the jacket off, put my bear pelt vest on over top of my hoodie, my 3 layers of long underwear, and David can attest to this. I started shooting better.
Yeah, it was an immediate change.
Yeah, because the fit was there. I was having to, how do I explain this over audio? My gun was not coming in pocket. I was so far out of pocket. I was rolling my head over. And the gun was not shooting where I was looking. And I put my bear pelt on, and David looked at me and he kind of gave me the hairy eyeball. And I'm like, my gun didn't fit. And he's like, yeah, I saw that. So am I right?
Yeah. I can tell this. I can 100% say this with my reputation, and it's not going to go unbelieved. I am biased because, I am a part of that company. But, in every product that I represent, I don't look at how long I've stayed with every company that I'm with. I've declined bigger contracts from gun companies. I've declined way bigger contracts from trap companies. I basically don't even have a contract with Permatic, stick with them anyway. I don't have a contract with Pila because I don't want one. I just want to be able to buy them and say they're the best. Same thing with my ammo with Game Bar. I went 7 years not signing a contract, declining one from every single ammo company in the industry so I could wait to shoot the one that I like. And with Bear Pelt, the second that I found out Erich was doing that, I called him and said, I want in. And so, like, yeah, I am biased, but it's not because I'm part of the company. I'm biased because it's a freaking awesome product, and I'm part of it because it's an awesome product. It was really cool. Very, very happy and excited about how that totally unexpected and unintended thing that happened. But I mean, it was a big difference. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Eric, I'm not going to put you on the spot, but can you give us a teaser?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah. No,
Come
absolutely.
On.
Yeah.
We're talking about cold weather.
No, I know it's I'll throw a shameless plug out there, I guess, but this definitely is about the shoot and everything else, and we are coming out with a thermal winter shooting vest.
Awesome.
It will be thin. It will be practical, and I would have loved to have had it this week, but we weren't able to get it together for this shoot. But it'll be out soon, and I really hope everybody likes it. So
well, I tell you what, you got 2 guinea pigs standing right here, and we'll do your R&D. Now you're going to have to run out to Wisconsin tent and awning for the other guy to get enough material.
Big guinea pig over there.
But no, I'm on board. You know us. I would love to help out any way we can, but that's exciting.
Yeah, this would have been the perfect shoot to pro to it. Absolutely, yeah.
But you know what? All told, hats off to the Spengler boys here at Cardinal Center and the staff. We really only had to wait one time, and I think that's just because they ran out of targets. Other than that, the last 3 tournaments they ran, being the night shoot last night, the night shoot today, and then the prelim today, it was flawless. I mean, they put on a great shoot. Eric, you shooting a night shoot for the first time, all the targets were very visible, very fair, plenty of time.
There was no station where you couldn't see the entire line of the target. Like David said, just the amount of lights they have out here for this type of shoot. Awesome. They spared no expense on lighting, and they didn't cheat. The target setters, set the targets perfectly for the lights in the background and everything else. There wasn't a target that was shaded or something you couldn't see, like I said, the entire line. Everything was completely visible.
And last but perhaps most important, are you coming back?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, this was,
he didn't hesitate.
No, this, like I said, just, more than the targets, just the vibe here. I mean, we have people behind us here that, they're kind of closing down, but everybody's still here to party and have a good time after a shoot, which a lot of time, the last day of the shoot, people kind of split and they kind of go back. And
this shoot's all about fun.
And I'll tell you what, this is. I mean, if every shoot was like this, I mean, I'd spend even more money I would have on the sport. So,
Sean and I have talked about this shoot a lot. Probably way more than the listeners. There's probably a lot of listeners that are rolling their eyes because we've talked about it so much. But right now, here in about 30 seconds, is what we look forward to all year long because the guns are put up. We're all fixing to go have an adult beverage and tell the lies and the stories. And David shooting his gun upside down over his head and shooting from the hip. And
before the adult beverages.
Before the adult beverages, yeah. So this is what it's all about, And I think... And David, you shoot all around the country, all around the world.
Yeah.
Eric, you're starting to dip your toes into shooting all around the country. Would you guys not agree that if more shoots had signature shoots like this, forget the big money, but where people hung out, had a good time, they'd probably have bigger turnouts? Yeah. Would you not agree?
I mean, for those of people that are listening to this and aren't here, there were anywhere between 2 to 4 lights at every single station. We're talking about 32 stations.
Yes.
Think about the expense of that. And this is not like these
Semi-loads of lights. I mean,
literally, semi-trailers full of lights. And it's not like the lights are here just Saturday, Sunday. They have to be or Friday, Saturday. They have to have these lights here to set the birds. They've probably been here for a week at least. The cost of renting that is insane. I mean, I don't even know how they could have made money on this shoot, but but they spared no expense to it, and it's just it's so much fun.
I think Jake told me it was 85 light plants.
Yeah, that's
least,
insane.
At least,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I totally forgot. Eric, what'd you think of the prelim?
Prelim? Oh, I had a lot of fun. It was very cold but. Great targets. You guys did a nice job at
thank you.
them. And,
that was our first.
That's just not me being biased, but no, I thought they were a lot of fun, very challenging.
Yeah, hopefully they'll invite us back next year.
A few really spicy stations, but that's
You know what the greatest part of that prelim was?
What's that?
is seeing David miss the first target on his second pair and knowing that he just gave up $200 to kids he plays. That was awesome. I'm glad you liked it. I'm hoping next year we're already talking to Jake and Luke. A little bigger, a little better next year. That was our first time, so we learned a lot. So, but hey, thanks guys, both of you very much for doing this.
Yeah, thank you guys, and great job this week.
Yeah,
awesome. Okay, so I'm here with Leslie. Leslie, tell everyone your full name and where you're from.
My full name is Leslie Ramirez, and I am from Madison, Wisconsin.
And you are a new shooter. This is your second or third tournament?
This is my second tournament. Nationals was my first.
That's a big first tournament, Leslie. So this is the first time you've been to the Cardinal shoot at night, or Pilgrim shoot at night, excuse me, here at the Cardinal Center. What did you think? The whole
it was
shoot
awesome.
Yeah.
There's so many great people, so I think it was just set up to be great before I even got here. So
yeah. What did you think trying to shoot targets in the dark? Pretty cool, huh?
Super cool. I was so excited because I saw that they had some fun colors put out on the course. And I mean, it was only my second time shooting, so to me it's no different because it's all new to me, and so I was excited either way. But yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I guarantee you're gonna come back, aren't you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So tell us what all you shot.
I shot the red main the first night, and I got a 21 the first night. That was awesome. That was 6 better than national, so I was already pumped, and I got 1 dead pair, and I think about everybody on the course saw or heard that I got a dead pair because
you were yelling and hollering.
Oh yeah, I scared the ref big time, so that was fun.
And then, did you shoot the prelim?
I did not shoot the prelim.
Okay.
I did shoot blue, and oh my gosh, I got a freaking 35 and 6 dead pairs.
Oh,
so
nice. Very nice.
Definitely improved overnight, and my goal was 2, so getting 6, I was about ready to go smash every target after that.
So you've jumped off into the deep end. Have you bought a gun yet, or you're in the process of buying a gun, or?
I have not bought a gun yet.
No?
I think right now it's super fun to try new things just because I have no idea where to even start in picking one. So just picking one up is a little too exciting right now.
Yeah. Well, we might know a podcast you can listen to might help you with some of that.
Oh, okay, so. maybe.
So what was your favorite part of this entire shoot? I mean, you got to shoot a couple different courses at night, but if you were trying to explain to someone or convince someone to come to this shoot, what would you tell them? What's going to stand out and be the most fun thing about this shoot?
Number one is always going to be the people for me. Yeah. I fell in love with this community because of the people, and I think just always coming in knowing that it's going to be fun, especially here at Cardinal Center. The people are just so much fun. So
absolutely.
If you're looking to have a great time and have a ton of fun, this is definitely the place to come.
Awesome. Very well said. So what's next for you? What are you going to shoot next?
I don't know what's next. I think that's probably a little exciting in itself to not know what's next just because, I mean, I don't know. I'm still new. So just anytime I get an opportunity to do it again, I'll be there.
There you go. Cool. Well, thanks for spending a few minutes with us. I thought it would be cool to get a brand new shooter's perspective, not only about the shoot, but getting started like you are. So we appreciate it very much. And I'm sure you'll be listening here soon and pick up a few tips from the pros and stuff along the way.
Oh, I've learned a lot from the podcast. So thank you so much for having me.
Good deal. Thanks, Leslie.
All right. Thank you.
Well, Sean, I hope we got a wide variety of shooters there for everybody to listen to.
I think so. I mean, first-time shooter that basically getting started with Leslie. Always great to talk to David and Erich about their stuff. Again, for us, it's a 1-year anniversary from when we started this as an idea.
Yeah.
And look where we are now.
Right. And for those of you, if Rosanna Prucka sounds a little bit familiar, she was in I think it was the October issue of Clay Shooting USA, 2019. Mm-hmm. The article, I think, was called One Clay, One Day at a Time. Mm-hmm. So Roseanne's a cancer survivor, and her husband, Paul, they love to come out and shoot. Cam, he's up from Northern Ohio. Great guy. Thank you for your service, Cam. He's also military veteran. But anyway, no, it was just, I wanted to get a wide variety of shooters and their opinions of the night shoot. And maybe people will come next year.
Yeah, I think they will. I mean, I think a lot of people left, even with the bad weather, I think a lot of people left with a good overall interpretation of what that is.
Yeah.
And the amount of work that Jake and Luke and everybody at the Cardinal Center does to put that on, make it run smoothly, which it did run smoothly. There wasn't really any big hiccups that I can complain about. It's definitely worth your time to come and give it a shot.
Luke told me that there was just as much work that goes into that shoot as a state championship.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, can you imagine? I mean, you got to work at night to get all those lights set up and get all the traps set up. So you're out there at dark,
right,
in the cold.
Yeah.
Those guys care. And this is something that's near and dear to their heart. And they were one of the first guys to start this thing, and they've definitely stayed with it. And hats off to them, and hats off to the Cardinal Center for doing a bang-up job on this shoot year after year.
Yeah, I think, everybody thinks that we're biased because we talk so much about the Ohio clubs, but there's a lot of these kind of signature shoots that Ohio has that are becoming tradition. Obviously the state championship's huge. The night shoot's huge. Dan is starting to really take off with American Field Sporting, Eagles Nest. He had the first ever American Field Sporting state championship there.
Right.
And Dan also does his FETASC and Sporting Championship, which is really starting to become big. There's a lot of signature shoots here in Ohio, and it's a great claycation, I guess you could call it, for the people in the South that want to come up and shoot some of this stuff.
Yeah, and Christian Crawford had some really nice things to say about
yes,
because he was able to go around and shoot some of our favorite clubs, and it's really nice to hear people that come in from out of town that say, "Wow, you guys definitely do have a lot of places to shoot up here."
Yeah, Christian was definitely impressed, both with Cardinal and with Eagles Nest. He was really, really thrilled, and of course we shot with him at the Ohio State shoot, and he was really impressed with Hillendale. So. Yeah, I mean, folks, I know you guys are tired of hearing us talk about it, but, it is really that great, and you really are doing yourself an injustice if you don't come check it out.
Right.
Hey, coming up next year, Sean, I don't want to tease people. I don't want to say too much, but I do want to tease people. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
We're going to be changing some stuff around come the first of the year.
Yep.
You're not going to be hearing as many commercials.
Right.
I will tell you that much. You're going to get to see some things on this podcast now instead of just hearing them.
Right.
I'll throw that out there. And what else? What else can I tease them with? We got so many things. I just want to just little teasers.
We got some new people joining our ranks.
Yes.
Both sponsors and people. I don't know, lots of good ideas. I mean, we've got a whole year ahead of us to try to tweak this thing and get it a little bit better.
Right. And let's not forget questions for the coaches. Okay?
Yeah, big time.
So, as always, we'll have Don Grant, John Woolley, Bill Elliott, adding to the list that we had of concrete for sure, Corey Cruz, Brad Kidd, Kevin DeMichael, and we're working on 2 more big names that are going to be real recognizable to everybody. But if you guys, based on that list of people, are hearing this and you are already coming up with questions, start emailing us.
Right.
Because we're going to sit down with these people and we're going to go through these questions. So, sponsors, thank you very much. Negrini Game Board, the guys at K&L Ammo, Atlas Traps, RE Ranger, Bear Pelt, and Rhino Chokes. Like Sean said, we've got some new ones coming on board that are going to join us. Again, these are products that we use. And we're kind of excited about this.
Absolutely.
But, Sean, did you have something you wanted to add?
Yeah, well, and one more reminder, guys. Hey, with Christmas and the holidays coming up, don't forget we've got plenty of shirts and hats available on the website. So if you want to grab some swag for the holidays, that'd be a great time to do it. Just go to the www.deadpair.com website.
No, you already screwed that up.
What?
It's thedeadpair.com.
Oh, that's right, thedeadpair.com. Sorry, I did screw that up. But go to the swag section, go to the menu, and like I said, hats, shirts, stickers, all kinds of stuff in there. If you want to represent, then by all means, we would appreciate it. And every dollar goes to help sponsor the show. So we appreciate any orders you guys throw our way.
Yeah, and don't beat us up on price. That's the shipping's included in those prices. So
if we could ship it for free, we would.
Yeah.
But UPS and them won't do that. So
most of that money is going to shipping, not to us. But we're going to keep doing this. I hope everybody has been happy with us this year. We're trying to grow. We're trying to learn. We've got some really exciting content for next year. Some very big names, some very big shoots, and some very big places we're going to go see.
Right,
so,
exactly.
And you might get a surprise or two along the way.
Yeah, we'll hope so.
A little something up my
sleeve.
sleeve.
Throw a few wrinkles in there.
Yeah, might have a couple aces up my sleeve there. So
there you go.
Okay, Sean, one more thing we got to tell our listeners. Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, we're taking a little bit of a break, guys. Don't hate us for it. But the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's, we're not going to release a podcast. I suggest that if you really are yearning to listen to us, maybe go back, catch some episodes that you haven't heard before, or maybe go back and listen to a favorite episode. Again, we're just taking some time off to spend time with family. That's an important time for us around the holidays. So I hope you guys can understand and forgive us. We'll be right back in the saddle with our first... the 6th, I think, of January. The 6th will be our first release for 2022.
Yeah, so we'll have another one here next week. And then after that, January 6th, I think you're right. Yeah, the Thursday.
So, again, it's nothing that we don't want to do it. It's just like this is a good time for us to take a break, regroup, kind of get things rolling for next year, and again, spend time with family and friends for the holidays.
Well, with the content we have coming out, we need that time to get caught up on some of this stuff, too.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, my goodness, the phone bills.
Yeah, we're going to be burning it up, that's for sure.
But, again, folks, bear with us. In between now and then, take somebody new shooting.
Yeah, definitely take somebody new shooting. Take them to a tournament. Introduce them to that. I mean, we had a lot of first-time shooters at the Cardinal Center for the night shoot, and they all had a ball, even with the weather being what it was. So you never know who might be the next big thing in our sport. So don't leave anybody out.
Yep. And we'll see you here next week on
the Dead Pair Podcast.